So recently Konami has given support to a lot of decks. Some good ones, and often they also make questionable supports, which make people go, why even supporting this deck? Today I'm listing my top 10 decks I think should be getting support, in my opinion, which, as always with these kind of videos, a lot of people will agree, a lot of people will disagree. It makes things fun. If everyone had the same opinions, life would be boring. Anyways, kicking off the list, number 10, something that a lot of people might be catched by surprise with, Speedroid. Yes, I don't hate this deck. Some people seem to have that impression. I hate the poor level of support this deck has been given. Granted, after testing them, the new cards are somewhat okay. But, Konami, please, finish the damn job. You have a solid base, one of the highest potential strong synchro strategies. However, the last wave just wasn't good enough. There may be, if piloted well, going to be about rogue level. Give them a final push so they can be that tier 2 or tier 1 deck. They have cool art, they have cool gimmicks, they have just fun to use cards. Give them a little extra boost so they can actually, be part of the actual meta. This deck is so very close, please give it a chance to shine. My number 9 deck, I'm very biased here, INFERNITY. They did a terrible job the last 2 waves. After some theory crafting, we only really play INFERNITY Wildcat from those waves. And there could be an argument to just swap it out with a Psychic Tracker or Wielder, meaning you don't even play any of the new support. One of the things the deck needs is a trio named level 8 Synchro Boss, because Doom Dragon isn't exactly great, Void Ogre is an Infinity monster, getting one that actually has Infinity in the name would be a huge deal. Maybe some kind of search spell, and I don't know, or the support is actually worth playing. Because Sage looks decent, but outside of that, the current state of the deck in general is kind of pathetic. The only reason the deck does anything is because I spent hundreds and hundreds of hours trying to perfect it. My number 8 deck is Lightsworn. Honestly, Lightsworns have been a huge factor in the game since the release of this archetype. There have been many metas where there wasn't some form of Lightsworn at least somewhat viable, even over the rogue deck. Why not honor the status by giving them a few more good cards? The deck is already pretty close to being decent at the moment. Give them a final push, give them like a Search Spell, maybe a good starter, maybe a cool synchro, just give them a last wave support so it can actually be a deck again. I would love it, and I think a lot of people do. Lightsworn is a very controversial deck where a lot of people dislike it, a lot of people like it. Can't please everyone, at least a lot of people would be happy with Lightsworn support. Hey, at least I know I would be. My number 7 is Lavol. It's a good Pyro-type deck. Perhaps the only Pyro-type deck with potential, or at least the only Pyro-type deck that in my opinion should be getting support. Flamvel are also cool I guess. It lacks a lot of power among things, but could be a cool engine mixed with other strategies like Lightsworn. Just mainly work on their consistency. They're already very explosive, just give them a few more consistency boosts, maybe a few good cards, and we will have a very cool Pyro Synchro deck. I wouldn't mind it at least. My number 6, TG Techgenus. It just absolutely got screwed over by the Hyper Librarian limit. Yes, I can still make playable variants, but those aren't going to be as great as when we had 2 or 3 Hyper Librarian. Just give it a new level 5 synchro and honestly I would already be satisfied. Just literally one level 5 synchro that has a good effect. Because, damn, every time I summon a Power Gladiator, a part of me dies. Also some actual starters to summon their Link 2. In the form of some kind of TG Link 2 would be nice as well. Because it's insane near impossible for this archetype to summon their own Link without abusing Isolde or Hulky Fibrax, which I guess is fine, but it would be cool if you could play a more purist variant. And maybe some actual archetype in archetype extenders that are worth playing would be cool as well. And hey, if you're already asking for things, maybe a new boss monster would be cool too. My number 5 deck is LUNALIGHT. It's a cool going second fusion deck that got butchered due to some Xyz variant. Tanky also got cut to 1. It's somewhat of a recentish archetype, somewhat of a newer archetype. And people haven't forgotten about it yet, there's still fans out there, so if you give it a wave right now, I think it would be the best timing. A good start would be an errata for Tiger, along with another few strong cards. I think it would help the deck a lot. My number 4 is BLACKWINGs. People will hate me for saying this, hell, a year ago I would probably hate myself for saying this, but BLACKWINGs are loved by many people, and so it being meta just, makes sense. Give them away for like 5 to 6 cards, make them a cool going second synchro strategy. Boom. We got a cool meta relevant deck that many people already love. I mean, there's already plenty of people playing BLACKWINGs anyway, just, give people that love this deck some additional support, and I think it could be cool. My number 3 deck is Banish/Lifepoint Psychics, one of the two variants, it doesn't really matter which one you pick. It's just a very cool synchro strategy that kinda has been forgotten about, especially by Konami. It has very cool artwork in general, unique and cool cards like Overdrive Teleporter. It already has a strong basis in Psychic Wheeler, Tracker and Immersion Teleport, but the deck just needs a little bit more. Please give it some love, you've given all kinds of weird archetypes some support. Just give this bloody cool synchro deck slash strategy some extra support, thank you. My number 2, KOZMO. It's a very simplistic deck that doesn't require the extra deck, which, you know, is nice for beginners. And a nice deck for beginners is always nice in this very complicated modern game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And in my opinion, I'd never really felt unfair to face this deck. In my opinion, it always has been a healthy participant in the meta. Never really got support besides initial few waves. I think it could at least be a competitor with, you know, a decent card or two. And finally, my number 1 deck, Morphtronic. Very cool gimmick, the art is fun, just everything about this deck, you know, is fun. It's unique and I love it. It has some insane power cards already like Cell Phone, but that's it. Never really got a proper wave of support or the chance to shine. This is an injustice and should change. Give bloody Morphtronic support. With that said, I hope you all enjoyed the video. As always, leave your own archetypes that you think should get support in the comments. But let's be honest, many people often say, give volcanic support, nobody would play the bloody deck. That's not. And with that said, I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Have a beautiful day. Goodbye.